the West Coast Cowboy Tour. If you want to see where I'm going to be, go to thejasonellis.com to see tour dates and where I'm going to be, because I might be in your town. thejasonellis.com. Do it. Go now. Mother was a witch. She was burned alive. Thank you, little bitch, for the tears I cried. Take her down now. I wanna see your face. Blistered and burned. Now my balls is totally moving, new and improving. I never get back up. I've got the heart and desire, my balls are on fire, ready to take us to the top. Welcome to the show. Did you know that your mom is a Yes, welcome to another episode of the Jason Ellis Show. And today is a historical day because we have a guest who is a family member of the skateboard community. The one and only Chris Cobra Cole is here. It's great to have you here, Cobra.
Thank you. Thank you for being here for me.
Be respectful to your pointy guitar.
You know, doing my best here.
So we're here. We made it. This is a good episode because it's a victory lap, is what this is.
It is.
It's good to have Chris here, and we're doing good. Things have come a long way in a positive direction. I'm very happy to have him here, and I don't know if I covered it on the Jason Ellis Show. I think more on the Patreon, but Chris and I recently met up at the Pedlo skate park. I went and saw Whitney's horse, and then I came home and I was making my meatball, and Chris called me and he was like, "Hey man, what are you doing?" I was like, "I'm gonna eat." And he was like, "I'm on my way to that skate park near your house. Can you skate?" And I was like, "Yeah, all right." And then we went there, and for most of you, Chris is one of the greatest skateboarders to ever skateboard, but he is a street skateboarder. If you like, you don't want to label people, but
stairs, rails, curves,
that's his thing. Yeah, he's a stairs, rails, flip trick guy. And I am a vert skater. And if you don't know skateboarding, vert skating is like backside airs, hand plants, ramp stuff, big vert ramp stuff. And some people are like, "Jason, you're a pro skateboarder, do a kickflip." No, that's not a good idea. And it's like, wait a minute, I thought you said you were pro. And I'm like, it's a different thing. And it's hard for people to understand. And then you could be like, "Chris Cobra Cole, do a hand plant in a vert ramp." And he would be like, "Nope. And people that don't know vert and street would be like, "But you said you were pro." And it's like, well, yeah, but they are skateboarding. They are both skateboarding.
Different disciplines.
They really are
pretty huge.
Very different. Like, it's a crazy thing. But then if you could pick two people that can do one really good and not do the other one really good. I mean, there's some other names out there, but Chris Cole and Jason Ellis is a good combo, because I'm one of the worst street skaters that's ever been a pro skateboarder in the world, ever. And I'm sorry to say this.
I'm aiming for that title in bowl. Not so much vert, definitely bowl.
Chris is one of the worst bowl skateboarders I've ever seen.
They do,
considering how like
they make sense.
He's on the street. I'm in the bowl and he's on the street and he's warming up, and his warm up is he does every flip trick, every basic, which is even weird me saying using the word basic, but
I know.
every flip trick, 180, switch 180, 360, 360 flip, 180 flip, basic flip, heel flip, nollie flip,
and switch.
He does them all before he skateboards. I've never, like what he does in a warm-up, I've never done 85% of them ever in my life. He does them before he skateboards. So I'm watching him do all these fucking flip tricks, and I'm like, man, really? That's your warm-up? That's crazy. And I was like, man, we should film something together. But like, I can't do anything that you're doing over there. And he's like, well, he can skate vert. Like he's done like kickflip indies and stuff. He can drop in on a vert ramp, no problem. So I'm like, if you film me do a grind in the bowl and then we both pop out and you give me the phone and then we'll go over to the ledge and you do a trick off the ledge, that's doubles.
Winning combo. We both get to play to our strengths.
Right.
Awesome idea.
It was an awesome idea, but
except
we didn't really rehearse or practice.
No.
He was like, I don't even really know how to go frontside in a bowl. And I was like, well, do one. And he did it. And I was like, well, there you go. That's fine. I'll do a grind and you follow me doing that when you film me. And he was like, yeah, that seems pretty easy. So I go to drop in and he stands next to me like he's going to roll in. And I'm like, you sure you want to go from there? And he's like, I don't know, like, yeah. And I'm like, dude, are you sure? And then he goes, it's my life. And he sings Bon Jovi to me.
Yeah.
And
I shouldn't have brought John Bon Jovi into it.
No.
You know, that was where I really jinxed it. I shouldn't have done that.
Because I laughed.
Tully a little bit better.
I know. I apologize about the angle of that.
Is that okay?
It's much better.
Can you hear me? All right, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So now I can see
I was
your
like
now I can feel
here.
your smoky gaze as well.
Yes,
I was looking at
very
you.
important.
Just got a lot more erotic from my angle.
Oh, I'm glad
Yeah, I
that
was
worked
like,
out for everybody.
Like, just put a set of blinds here.
It's like the dating game.
Jesus. Anyway,
Uh-huh.
so he sings that song and I start laughing and I go, dude, because I don't skate very often and I definitely don't skate this skate park very often. And I go, don't make me laugh before I drop in. It doesn't make it easy for me. And then I dropped in and laughed. And as I went into the frontside grind, there's chips in the coping because it's an old pool, and it kind of caught my board. So I stepped off. And when I stepped off, my board got near his board. I slide down because that's what I do.
Sure.
If I fall in a bowl,
sense.
it's very easy for me to slide. I have pads on. I have a helmet on. I'm a vert skater. I'm sliding, and as I'm sliding, I see him come around, and he goes to step off his board, and the board rolls back towards him, and he stands on it.
Yeah.
He
Which
whips
is
off.
commonplace on street is like a lot of times you'll keep 1 foot to know where the board is,
which is crazy.
so that like you don't end up landing back on your board completely and doing exactly what I did in the bowl, which only takes 1 foot apparently.
In a bowl or in a vert ramp, if you fall and then your foot lands back on the board, that's real bad.
I could see that.
Because of the transition will whip you.
Yeah, it's a Looney Tunes moment's about to happen.
Yeah.
So
zoinks.
That's what happened. So I'm sliding and I'm watching, and I'm like, he's going to be fine. And then I see him start to whip out, and I'm like, oh, that could be bad, but you'll catch yourself. And he did not.
No.
And he hit his head. Dude, I was seriously 3 foot away from him, and it was in slow-mo to me, where I go, get a hand down. And no hand gets down, and he whipped out, hit the tailbone, and then donk, and I hear the skull, like I hear the bone hit the concrete. And this is the thing that has happened.
You know the sound.
We both know that sound. It's not good, dude. And he hit his head so hard, Michael, that juices came out of his nose. And that's like, to me, that's the juice that is like...
It's the brain juice.
It's the brain juice that like surrounds his brain from making it okay.
Yeah.
He knocks the juice out of his brains.
Yeah.
And then I see from fighting and everything, I see his eyes go, and I'm like, he's out. He goes out, and he's back, and I go.
Would you agree that you were briefly unconscious?
Well, here's the funny thing about being unconscious is you don't know.
Yeah, yeah, he doesn't know, but I do.
Like no time passed to me.
No.
Well, I understand, but like when I go
But he would know.
to sleep, I'm unconscious. But when I wake up, I have a pretty good sense that I'm missing a little bit of time. Did
Well,
you have that sense?
Yeah.
It's you lose a couple of seconds of your life.
Yes.
But when you come back, you don't know that you lost those seconds.
Okay.
That's right. So because for some reason your brain is it pauses out in a way that time pauses too.
There's no panic.
Yeah,
You don't know that there was an injury that occurred.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of like the person that hits their head, except for the part where it hurts later, you're in the best seat. Because me watching my friend hit his head,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, fuck. And he goes dunk out, back, and he goes, I'm all right. That's the first thing that he said. Because we're skateboarders. Like the first thing you say, because I can tell it. I'm looking at him like, dude, not good. And he's reassuring me
Right.
that I'm okay by saying I'm okay.
Right.
Yeah.
This is a typical thing, like Jake on the mega ramp.
Yeah, a little
Right.
bit. Yeah, because he was like, how many rides do I have left? And I was like, dude, you were unconscious with your eyes open, snoring.
Yeah.
You're not all right. And you're definitely not having another ride. And he was like, did I win? And I'm like, you
In
won,
a way,
You
yeah.
won
In a
the
way.
greatest slam in the history of skateboarding.
You won the most watched X Games clip of all time.
It's the hardest, it's the most catastrophic slam in the history of professional skateboarding. There's no,
It's
I don't
shocking.
care what anyone else says. That's the one. Because
It's the
Before it-
nightmare of every single vert skater ever.
Yeah, there's never been a holy shit, he's going to die moment where it was like, I've seen people get hit and I'm like, man, is he going to wake up? Like, I was the first person on the over, like, I almost ran out and let him land on me because it was that obvious that how fucked he was. 'Cause he was so far out. I was like, do I? And then he fell and then he landed and his shoes exploded and everything came off.
Yard sale.
And then he bounced and landed on his stomach and his nose was flat on the ramp and he was snoring and his eyes were completely open. And then
How do you know he doesn't sleep like that?
No, I'm telling the truth. I'm not telling the truth.
He is
When he
Australian.
landed, he was not snoring. He was not breathing. His eyes were open and he was on the flat. And I went over there to grab him and then I realized that he was dead. And I put my hands on my head and I was like, no, he's dead. And then he started snoring. And I was like, okay, he's alive, but he was still not conscious. So then he wakes up, we roll him over. And now I'm like, okay, so now you're conscious again and you're not doing the snoring thing and you're here. And I'm like, can you feel that, Jakey? And I touched his leg and he was like, yeah. And I'm like, you're not a paraplegic. And then he goes, how many rides do I have left? And I remember going, you're so cool to me right now. Like, you're so tough. And I go, I'm pretty sure that's it, Jakey. And he goes, did I win? And I was like, I'm not sure right now. Let's worry about that later. Because I was trying to say something nice. You know,
Yes.
I didn't want to be like, for sure you didn't win.
You didn't want to start arguing with the judges yet.
Yeah. I'm like, dude,
This is like the way I never read of Mice and Men, but the way you talk to Lenny when he's like, when they're going to kill him at the end. Yeah, no, you're going to go hang out with a whole bunch of horses now. Everything's going to be great.
Yeah,
All kinds of cakes there, Jakey.
you're like, yeah, you won, and you're like through tears.
Yeah.
yeah, dude, I was verklempt. Yeah, in my
Got the
mind,
gold medal, Jake.
in my mind, you won, but
Uh-huh.
in the judges, maybe not.
All right.
Yeah. How do you score that?
So you've got a little bit of experience in this sort of situation. Is what
Yeah.
you're saying.
So he goes to me, spirit world for like 1 second. Then he comes back and he goes, I'm all right. And I go, no, you're not, dude. You know, and then I see the blood and I'm like, oh shit. Like you've opened your head, your skull. And once again, there's levels, you know, like I'm like, how bad is it? Like,
Yeah.
did you crack your actual skull or is it the skin that's opened? And then I see the back of his head and I make I look at it, I go, okay, your skull's not broken, but you've split your head open. Like you're definitely bleeding. And then I take my shirt off and he goes, don't take your shirt off. It's your shirt. And I'm like, dude, it's a
Me.
it's a your mum's house t-shirt. They gave it to me. I'll get another one. It's okay.
Yeah.
And I put it on his head and I dampen and I look and I go, okay, I see that there's probably 3 or 4 stitches. What do you got? 3 staples?
3 staples.
I'm basically a doctor, dude.
Basically, yeah.
And he goes, okay, I'm all right. And I'm like, not yet. You're not. Like, don't get up yet. Wait a second. And he's like, I want to get up. And I'm like, okay. And then when he got up, he did wobble. And I go, dude, just wait.
Chilled a minute.
And then we got a little bit better. And he's like, I'm going to walk out of the bowl. And I was like, okay, let me help you. And he's like, I don't want help. And I was like, maybe you do. And then he didn't know, but I did kind of help him up the first bit. And then for the second bit to get out of the end of the bowl, he's like, I'm fine. I was like, just stand on my foot and step up. And he's like, no, I'm fine. And then his foot slipped and I put my foot underneath his foot. And I was like, use it and get out. Yeah. He's like, oh, wow, that actually helped.
Are there people there?
A kid came over and said,
that works there.
Does he need ice? And we were like, yeah. And he gave us an ice pack.
He also helped me out of the bowl. If you remember,
he did.
Foot was there, and I was like hitting my head rendered all of my like muscles useless too. So I'm trying to climb out of the bowl, and I'm like, oh, weird that I can't just like do a pull up.
Right. And because he's an athlete, he's in slight denial because that's kind of half the battle.
Sure.
You got to be positive about it, you know?
Denial.
If you go, oh my God, I think I'm dying, that's not good.
Right.
Yeah, and I know I'm not dying. I know I'm just like, I don't want to be relegated to the bowl for the rest of Easter Sunday.
That's fair.
I don't want to just be living in there.
How much experience do you have with this sort of slam?
You know, funny you should ask that. The last time I hit my head was on my 40th birthday.
Happy birthday.
In a bowl. Thank you. In a bowl. The exact same way, but I was doing a trick, much smaller bowl, doing a trick, and my right foot never came off the board. So as it slid down, I bailed, and it just took my foot.
There's video of that too,
slam.
right?
Same slam.
Yeah.
Yeah, same slam. It was louder, and I didn't split my head that time, which is kind of interesting.
It wasn't concrete, was it?
It was concrete.
Oh, okay.
But like, must have had some give. Wrestler concrete. I don't know, but when you hit, it was a bad sound. It was a gross sound. I got to hear it from the inside of my ears.
That must have been cool.
Inside out.
In stereo.
Yeah. Yeah, it was Neuralink. I Neuralinked into the pole.
No, you definitely went away first. I'm 3 foot away from your face. I watched you go and come back. And I was like, that's a concussion straight up.
Was I pretty?
Yeah, not really.
Damn.
It was gross. That freaked me out for a second. But
nightmare.
I'm also doing the same thing you're doing, where you're like, you're okay, and I'm like, you're not, but you're okay. But I was like, dude,
yeah,
I'm a little concerned. But when you wake up and you talk and you walk, it's a good sign. So we get him out of the bowl, get the ice on his head. We're talking. Then I think actually before we got him out of the bowl, I filmed him, and as I'm filming and seeing the blood in the bowl and filming him, I realized that one of my better friends, somebody that's like really important to me recently, is his girlfriend. Like Whitney has been a really important person in my life recently.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
And just been like supportive and I've I went through my own dark period where I got sober and I lost all my friends. I lost my wife, and it was like, I'm trying to find new people that are in the world of comedy, and Whitney was one of those people that's just always had my back and been supportive. And when you get encouragement from somebody of that stature, it's because I lost my security, I lost my belief in myself. And when Whitney was like, you're very funny, like this is, keep going, you're gonna be very successful in this game. And it's kind of like when Ken Block told me like I could be an entertainer. Yeah. He's like, you're a funny guy. And I was like, it's not, no offense to anybody else, but it's Ken Block. He's done so much. And if he thinks I can do it, I believe it. And when Whitney Cummings is like, you can be a comedian, you can do, I was like, I think I can. Like, I remember I did a show with her somewhere, and she texted me afterwards and was like, you're a monster. Like, believe in yourself. Like, you've got something. And I cried a little bit in the car with like joy, because I was like, this is somebody that really knows, and I really believe her. I don't think she's blowing smoke. Like, I believed her, and it really helped. And then, I do shows with her now, and I hang out with her horse. And now, like, basically my best friend in the world, the person that I love the most, is her horse.
Yeah.
Like, I go see him every day I can. And we are linked in a way where, again, my life has completely changed, where I see I don't need to talk. Like, I talk to people, but I can judge people so much better now by being in a room with them. Like, because I get their energy, because I talk like a horse now. Like, the way I get judged by him and the way I feel him is the way I feel everybody in the world now. It's just different. It changed everything for the better. Like, that's a thing that I will always have. I will never not be around horses because of this.
Yeah, it's sick. It's sick to find something so integral to who you are.
Yeah, and later in life where I was like, I feel like I'm pretty much me.
Right.
And now I'm like,
and you're like, oh, that's weird.
Wait, am I a horse?
That I was missing this whole time?
Yeah. Like, I've seen horses my whole life. I've never, like, now if someone's like, do you want to go ride horses? I'm like, well, what kind of horses? Are these like horses that ride tourists around? Because no.
Right.
Like, do I want to meet the horse? And if the horse wants me to ride him, could that happen?
There you go.
Potentially. But I'm not just getting on somebody's slave horse. I'm not about that.
Let's go hang out with some horses.
Yeah. And used to
and then see what we get into.
Old me is just like, ride me around. I don't even know who you are. Now I need to know you. And then we can do that. So anyway.
So many ways.
So I love her, right? And I know she loves him. And
thank God.
I'm not entirely responsible for this, but I am quite a bit responsible for him bleeding and having a concussion, because if he had have been there and I wasn't there, he wouldn't have fucking followed me around in this bowl.
You know what? It wasn't your fault.
I know.
It wasn't your fault really at all, but if two kids do something wrong and get in trouble, the one mom is yelling at both of the kids.
This is the best way to explain it, because she is
like, at that moment
she's
we turned
really
into
smart,
children.
dude.
Yeah. At that moment we turned into children. We were like, damn.
She's really smart, and you feel like, I don't think she thinks I'm beneath her or anything, but she knows I'm a child at heart.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think she loves it. I think she loves him for his baby brain. Like,
well, yeah, like our fun loving, our ability to snap into fun at any given moment is truly a gift.
Yeah.
Of just like, you know what? It's time for fun. Like, we have fun better than most people.
Yeah. And she's also been a witness to both of us going through a lot of really hard shit. And I mean, I don't know about me, I don't care about me, but unjustified shit. Like, Chris has been through shit where it's not fucking right at all. And like, the world has come down on him in a way where it's like, you know, I've stood by his side and people come at me for it. I'm like, you don't know the fucking half of it, dude. And this guy is not the guy that people are making him out to be. And I'm standing by him regardless of what the rest of the world thinks. And now it's starting to like come out where it's what I have always believed is that he's not what he was accused of doing. He's not that fucking guy.
Yeah, I think
people are starting to flip.
I think it's important to just continue being whoever you are, you know, and just continue doing it.
Right, but it's been
no matter what,
hard, dude. Like, I have heard people say things to me where I'm hurt by it, and it's because I'm hanging out with you. And I'm like, how hard does he get it? And you care about me, and I know that you take the rep. Like, you know that I'm getting hammered. You're like, dude, I'm not trying to do this to my friend.
Yeah.
But you didn't do it. So it's really, I'm really happy to see that, like, people are like, oh, wait a minute. That's not true. Oh, man. And obviously the way the world works is like, when somebody gets accused of something, everybody just hammers that. Then when he's vindicated, it's less of a story.
That's how it works.
The whole world is not like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. No, everyone's just like, nah, that's the end. Yeah. He's okay now. But no apology, which doesn't really.
No, there will never be an apology. But you know what? I feel like regret is something that doesn't really help us, especially when you're like in recovery to just deal with whatever. You find that, like, how do I grow, push forward, find the miracles in each day? It's kind of like a gratitude list, right? What went right in the day. And I feel like certain things, whether they're out of your control and they're extremely hard or not, you have to find the silver lining of. And what this whole process has done to me is just go, okay, well, what do you do for you, right? What are you going to do for you moving forward? And what makes you tick? What makes you happy? And what would you like to do? And so I feel like moving forward in life, whatever I'm doing, it's 100% me. Yeah. And it's going to be 100% like fulfilling in my life, which is awesome. Also, Whitney just texted, so I know she's by her phone.
Okay, so I'm trying to get it all as much out as possible, but so Whitney's seeing his head. Dude, this guy goes and gets flowers and comes home with flowers and bleeding out of the back of his head.
I can't see the back of my head, so I don't know.
I know, but we talked before he left the bowl. Yeah. I wouldn't let him leave until I was like, "You're okay to drive." But he was at one. He's like, "How do I explain to this girl that it's not that bad?" Yeah. But I'm understanding that the normal people of the world, when they've got staples in their head, it's a freaky. Your partner could be freaked out.
Right.
Yeah.
How do I give this to her in a way where it doesn't freak her out too hard?
Yeah.
Because she's a comedian. She's not a...
Right. No, I know. But luckily chicks are simple. So you get some flowers. You ask her if she lost a couple pounds, and boom.
It's like, wow, you look so good.
Bam. Massive head wound. Harry's in the clear.
So she was like, this is a crazy thing for you guys to do. And then I called Chris because he was going to come on the show. And I was like, dude, if we do that line and we make it, that's redemption. Mm-hmm. So this morning before we did this show, we did it. We made it.
We went back.
He pulled it off.
He pulled it off. And he still has staples in his head.
I do.
That was a reckless thing that you did.
A little bit. But I'm going to FaceTime
feel pretty good about
his girlfriend right now, and we're going to show her the success. Let's see how she takes it.
Oh my God. I'm like, oh my God, she's going to pick up. I was like, what do I do with my arms?
Quick, hand me some flowers.
Quick. Oh, are we showing her on there?
No, that's no.
Not on there. So on my phone.
You're going to show we're going to show the line.
I can play it on the TV.
Oh, okay.
She's not going to pick up.
What?
Disrespect.
I know. You see that? Insane.
That's bullshit.
Wow.
That is insane.
I'm going to call back.
She's trying to show you up.
Dude, she FaceTimed me for her podcast, and I was on vacation.
Yeah. And what did you do?
I answered it immediately,
I bet you
Michael.
did.
Yeah.
Like a goddamn pro.
And she didn't even say that I was on anything until...
That's not even legal.
Right? Mm-hmm. I'm going to sue her.
You have to.
If you FaceTime someone twice, that's an emergency.
Or you're just one of my family members.
Right. But this is...
mental.
We're not as cool as I originally thought.
She probably knows that we're about to ambush her with something.
You should steal her horse for this.
Right? Just ride off.
Just who could have done this? And his car's just there. Abandoned car.
My God.
Just disappear into the Topa Mountains.
Yeah. He forgets that he shared his location for one of the shows, and indefinitely we just go to wherever he is with the horse.
I said, we need to FaceTime, please.
We need to FaceTime, please.
I should have said, I just need to talk to you, because then it'd be like, I hurt you again,
Oh my God. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't.
That's worse.
I didn't.
No flowers, just insane. I texted her. I said, pick up. But
maybe she does have a child.
I was going to say, that would be a valid excuse.
That really slows things down.
I think it's more of her schedule's wild.
Yeah. Yeah, she's probably in a meeting that's really important.
Yeah.
It's worth stuff and skills. And
she also, when she's not doing that, she'll ditch her phone. It's just somewhere. Phone's somewhere else.
Well, we
had a little boombox, a little cassette player boombox and radio, so that we're not on the phone when we're playing music around Henry.
That's
and it's
pretty cool.
Cassette tapes, we pop in.
He loves it, huh?
And he just carries around a boombox like he's sick New York in the 80s.
That's pretty awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Like a human Spuds McKenzie. That's so cool. wish I'd known that. I have some sick hair metal cassettes I could have brought for you.
Oh,
I'll give me an address.
Oh, he'd be pumped too.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, like the first Faster Pussycat record. Things kids need to know about.
Well, this gives me more time to explain that. So she's did a podcast where she's got Chris on, and she's calling me, and then I also saw another video where the way she talks about it, like she's like, I'm happy that Chris is happy with Jason, but like, is this like a thing? Are you guys going to hurt yourselves more? Because hitting your head, like I get your argument, like if you hit your head a lot, it's not good.
No.
But it's also like so many things nowadays. It's real. It's serious. It's been blown out of proportion.
That's the thing. It's like the moment you hit your head one time, people start talking about CTE.
Yes.
And you go, you heard a buzzword about CTE, but you haven't done the research to act like you saw a movie. Like you haven't done the research to actually find out how many times these people were not just bumping their head, but concussed.
Yeah. Just
how
because
many times?
Just because you saw the Will Smith movie on a plane one time doesn't make you an expert here.
Well, here's the thing that's interesting about it too, is that CTE, what people know, they can't test for it until post-mortem, right? They check out your brain after you're dead.
Supposedly changing right now, but that has been the case, yes.
But the first thing that goes, one of the first things is impulse control.
Right. Yes.
Funny enough, I went to get my brain mapped, where they put a whole bunch of electrodes on your head and they study you while you play games and stuff and whatnot. And it measures your brain waves prior, like the micro, like milliseconds before you actually start to think about the thing, what your brain processing is and all that, right? And there's a web of traits of different things. And when the web, like one of those traits goes out on the web, that means you're really good at it, but usually the corresponding trait moves in. If they both move out, it means that's why you're good at what you're good at. And my two were, my brain processes faster than your average human. Like if somebody just throws a ball at me,
yes,
I see it, and then I see it process what it is before I even process what it is. I know what it is, and impulse control. So I don't go, whoa, like I just barely move and get out of the way. Same thing with like a plastic bag. If it flies up in front of my motorcycle, my brain has processed that it's a plastic bag. Do not swerve. Let it hit you in the face. Yeah. It's not a danger, right? So impulse control is one of the higher things.
That's like the AIDS test where it's like, hey, my friend, you ask your friend, does he have AIDS? And he says no, then you know you're good. Like I just did it right then. Like when he just talked about the plastic bag flying up, like
I got it. I understand.
Mitch Hedberg had a joke where he's like, I got the friend AIDS test where he called his friend. He was like, hey man, do you have AIDS? And he was like, no. And he was like, good. Neither do I then.
Right.
I just did it with the brain. Like he did the brain test.
Yeah.
It was like the plastic bag comes up when he's riding a road bike. I have the same reflexes, which means my brain is also good.
Yeah.
I don't need to get the test.
Yeah, you're good.
Thank you.
Lord knows how much that test would be. They were like, they let me do it for free. Thank God.
Wow.
I don't know how much that would have been.
So does that mean they'll be able to test your CTEs without you being dead? So.
We talked about this recently. I forget. Is it what's the? It's not taurine. That's Red Bull. The taupines, the things that like the brain plaque that builds up. That's what CTE is. You basically get plaque that's like blocking all the brain passageways. Right. Terpenes? No, is that something else? Anyway,
I think you're onto something.
I know we did a story here recently that
I don't know how to say the word, like, but I've seen the word.
I don't know if they're like they tested it on mice and it worked out okay. Tau. I think it's literally TAU.
Turpin?
No.
No.
Look up TAU. And the irony of this is not lost on me. Yeah.
It's a protein.
Tau proteins build up on the brain. But yes, supposedly they're like moving into human trials with a test to what you can find out before it's too late, basically.
Yeah. Where did you read that? Where did you read it?
Do you know what? When he put in tau CTE. It autocompleted to
Oh,
tau
and you
to
read
tau proteins,
Got
and
it.
I was like, right, tau proteins. I knew the first word. I've seen it paired with proteins. Clearly, see, that's something I'm pretty good at.
Right.
Is processing a lot of information pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That tracks.
While we are waiting, this is
Yeah.
not as sophisticated as the brain mapping that you did, but since
Lay it on me.
we knew that you had suffered a recent brain injury of some sort,
Yeah.
we put together a little test to see
Oh my
you're-
God, I love tests.
a sort of aptitude. Jason, is this an appropriate time for this?
Yeah.
I love tests.
Okay. So let's just sort of combine this together in my homespun sort of way from a couple different things that I found online.
Yay.
First of all, would you tell me if you're experiencing any of the following?
Okay.
Exceptional forgetfulness.
No.
You feel like you've had a lot of deja vu.
Nope.
You feel like you've had depression.
No.
Do you feel like you've had a lot of deja vu?
Kidding?
I like what you did there.
That was good.
I was like, wait, I feel like you're saying the same thing again.
Wait.
Yeah.
Do you know what they think that is? Deja vu?
What?
Is that they think that as you're seeing something, it's short-term memory and it gets placed in the wrong folder.
Mm-hmm.
Gets placed in long-term memory at that moment. And so you go, wait, I've seen this before.
Right. And that's why you can always kind of tell it's deja vu, but the way you can really always tell is it always feels like something that's happened before, but you never have any sense of where or when. It's like, did I see that a week ago or did I see that
interesting.
8 years ago?
That's interesting.
Because usually with, my wife got a coffee today and it had some cinnamon in it. And as I took a sip, I was like, I've had something, were we on vacation? Like I already start to place
items. Yes.
the memory. There's no placing deja vu.
That's really interesting. And every time you get deja vu, everybody does the same thing. I'm pretty sure I'm doing that thing where I'm just generalizing. You try to predict what the next thing that's going to happen is, and you never do it right. But if it were an actual memory,
it should have some predictive.
You would fully be able to do that because once somebody gives you the clue,
yeah,
like if somebody says, remember that one vacation? And you go, not really. And then you go, we were cliff diving at this one spot. Oh, and we ran into that one guy. Then all of the things would come back to your memory.
You open the file. Yeah.
You'd open the file. It's just that the recall is tough for most people, myself included. But once somebody finds the file, all the info is still in the file.
Yes, that's typically what I journal, and I'm like, what did I have for dinner yesterday? And once somebody goes, remember we went to, all of a sudden I remember the conversations, I remember everything.
And that's why I actually really love going back home. There's some sort of key to the past when I get to my hometown because every street has a memory.
Yeah, wow.
Before you had seen everything,
Mm-hmm.
like at this point you're like, I've seen everything. You go back there, it's like the first time you ever, did a wheelie, it was there. I learned how to ride a bike there. I took my worst slam of my life right behind that Chuck E. Cheese. Like there's like so many awesome moments.
If going back to Australia was always really hard for me because my brother passed away and didn't matter what year, when I go back, it's like he just died again.
Ugh.
It's because I'm here.
That's where your life there left off. Yeah.
Right.
Like, there was a time there where I had a therapist and he was like, I don't think you should go back to Australia for a while because it keeps messing you up.
Yeah.
It was
yeah.
also because I would get messed up and then I would use heavily to run.
Right.
So then I'd come back here and
which would make it even worse every time you'd go back because you would just run away.
I'd go back, drink, smoke more weed, do drugs, do a bunch of stuff that would piss everybody off that is connected to me, and not on purpose, but guess who's responsible for it? Me.
This guy.
Yeah.
This guy.
This guy did it. Yeah.
Everyone's
guess who's got this guy.
Guess who's got two thumbs and pushed everybody away? This guy.
Hey.
Oh man. Oh, that was very funny and painful as fuck.
Chris, back to my diagnostic as a professional here, and beyond obviously the pain of the injury itself, any physical sensations? Have you experienced any ringing in your ears at all?
None. Quit it. Wait, can they hear it?
What?
Wait, can you guys hear this?
What?
I'm 43. I can barely hear that. That's so high. That's so high pitched. I might lose.
Why, Chris? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, that is fun.
I feel pretty good about like me still hearing these.
He's pretty sharp. That was a pretty sharp.
Is this?
We're like passing the test they used to give you in second grade.
Yeah.
Which year is it in? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think you could say?
Okay, Jake.
I can still hear that.
Yeah.
Surprising.
Yeah.
Can you say the months of the year backward?
Oh my god.
Yeah, I could never. I don't even know the.
You guys can both feel free to.
I don't know the months.
December, November,
welcome to CTE
October,
off 2025.
September, August, July, June, May, April, March, February, January.
Boom.
I can't do them
Forward.
Yeah.
Come on.
I can't.
Try. January.
I mean, he said January, February, March, April, May.
Yeah, just do the Wyclef song.
That's
what you're doing.
That's what I'm doing.
I know. That's why you stopped there.
Go until November.
Yeah.
Then I don't know the rest.
Yeah. He'll never get December.
Yeah, because he didn't finish. He didn't. He ended there.
Son of a bitch.
Oh yeah.
January, February, March, April, May.
Are you trying a girl I can't say?
Yeah, that's it. Gone till November.
And give a kiss to my mother.
Yeah, that's all I know. That's all I know. If
Can
only
you-
Wyclef was my teacher at school, I would probably
You'd
have
be
an
bummed.
education. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you count down from 100 by sevens?
No, not a chance.
No way.
Not a chance.
Yeah, I saw.
It would just take me so long.
I saw
could do it.
a thing where that mini series about the Clippers owner and how they basically took the team away from him after the racial stuff, but they
Whitney
did it
just text me.
because they said that he was like losing his mental faculties. And in the show, they ask him that, and he's like 93, 80, and I'm like, well, then I'm demented too.
Yeah,
That's I think we all are.
yeah. It's what is that? 93, 86, 79,
Mm-hmm.
72.
Right.
Goodness. Like
Right.
I can do it, but I'm doing math each time.
Exactly.
Nobody wants to watch me.
What did Whitney have to say?
She's gonna call in a second.
Okay.
Oh, she's FaceTiming me.
Okay.
She's FaceTiming me.
Look at the video.
Hi.
Sorry, I was trying to get a child to fall asleep. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm here in the podcast studio with Jason.
Hi, Whitney.
Nice. Hi, babe.
You don't look that excited to talk to us.
Are we on? I'm
Yeah,
peeing.
we are live.
Yeah.
Okay. Live.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if we're live.
Yeah.
I'm peeing.
Well, as long as you don't show the hole, we're fine.
Okay, fine. Don't get an algorithm.
Okay. Listen. Stay seated. But
Stay seated.
remember how we went skating the other day and Chris hit his head? Do you remember that?
Chris doesn't.
Yes, he does. We just did a brain test and he passed with flying colors.
You like that?
Yep.
You like that?
Whoa.
I know.
Yeah.
Wait, where's the
And-
camera?
And I also, so today we went to the skate park that we were at where Chris had the incident, and
You went back today?
we went back today,
Cool.
and and guess what we did? Don't get too excited, but
There's other ways to break up. Can you just cheat on me like a normal guy?
Wait, we showing her?
Wait, Whitney. We're professional athletes, right? And you know what that means? It means when things calm down. He's here and he's talking to you.
I am.
So we were like, that's not how it's going to end for us. We're going to do it.
That's right.
So see this helmet? This is a car racing full face helmet that you're.
Wait, stop. Sorry. He wore this helmet?
He wore that helmet.
I did.
So what's this? Where's this helmet from?
It's from my motorsport racing career.
So you put a disgusting bacteria covered helmet over his open wound on his head.
Shit.
Didn't even think of that.
Yeah, we didn't think of that.
No.
So you landed the trick, but he has a staph infection. Is what you're telling
No,
me?
he doesn't have a staph infection. I don't have staph. If I had staph,
Show her.
I took antibiotics, but look at this. Watch this, Whitney.
Check it out.
You got it.
Oh, where are we watching?
I think Jason's showing it.
You got to pull that closer.
He doesn't fuck up. She can't hear the audio. Wait.
No, she can't hear the audio.
That's what cobras are. They're unpredictable.
Let me see.
Which is why I like them so much. All right, Cobra. All right, just follow the wolf to glory.
He's got a helmet on.
Oh, you're holding the camera, babe?
Yep.
With a helmet on. Then he takes the helmet off.
There. So helmet goes now.
Sound of that one. It was meaty. It had meat on it.
And then
You're wearing a helmet? Or you took it off?
he
Took it off.
Because now he's on the streets where he belongs.
I didn't see us.
I'm where I belong.
I didn't see you selfie showing the helmet. Okay.
I will show the helmet later.
Oh.
And then I got to be me.
Oh.
Even I know that was good.
Look.
In your fucking face, bitches. Safety first.
There you go.
So there
Pretty beautiful.
we defeated it. We
did.
won.
Did.
Are you proud of us, Mama?
Not my mom.
Do not put me in this position.
You're the one that made us feel like children when we.
Yeah, I'm not trying to. Okay, I don't think either of you, no offense, know what it feels like to be loved. I don't think either of you have been actually loved by a woman. You've only been with women that want you to perish, and
Wow.
so I want you both to stay alive.
Wow.
You know, and this is what love looks like. Just
This is-
concern, fear, like that's all it is.
Wow. That was
It's just love.
a lightning bolt of reality that just hit me in a way that, like, I'm a little bit sad for a second, but I'm also very happy to know that I do have women in my life that care about me. It feels good.
So care is like, I don't want you to get hurt. But when you're in relationships where the person hurts you all the time, you know, it's like but that's not what I want. I never want you guys to feel any pain ever. So I just love you. That's all this is. It's just concern and love.
You too.
Yeah, we do. But
That's all
Me more than
it
him.
is.
But we
Love
did
you more.
we
Love
did
you
it.
I love you more.
But I know this is so important to you, and I just want to stay out of the way. And I never want my feelings to make you feel like, you know, you're not the cobra and you're not the wolf. I know I can't get in between you guys and the. Does that say hoonigan or hooligan?
Hoonigan, but it also says don't die because
It does say don't die.
we don't.
Can we just get some peroxide on that wound? I'm not saying your head was dirty. I just mean a helmet that's been sitting in a storage
It
unit
was
covered
disgusting.
in, you know, LA smog and whatever.
It was in a helmet bag.
It was in a helmet bag. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So
It's almost worse.
The bag was like you
now
like
there's
blew
this.
the dust off like a
Like
book
Indiana
of
Jones
spells.
getting an
So
idol.
now like a scorpion just lives in his stitches. Like how does this?
Potentially. I mean, I haven't had no one's taken that helmet out of the bag for at least 7 years.
It's pre-COVID.
Can I ask you a question? When like y'all could have landed this the first time, of course, but like I'm obsessed with the mental in both stand up and this. Like, how much of today was like mental, like you motherfucker?
Oh,
like
every bit of it was
Yeah.
petty.
All of it.
Every bit of it was petty redemption.
Yeah, and the other part that usually doesn't exist was, I can't wait to show Whitney Cummings this video.
That's true.
Of us doing it.
I needed that like the desert misses the rain.
And we have another person that filmed us doing the whole thing, so I'll show you that at a later date, where you can see the total control of both of these athletes at the highest level of athleticism.
also control of your mind as well. Like, you know, I think because I'm always trying to figure out like how much having something to prove makes you better. But we're all at places where we don't have anything to prove. But sometimes you have to create things so that you still.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. It's all
excel.
game.
No, you make it pick a fight with you, even if it's not picking a fight with you. Also, there's a lot of video where I do mention in it, and I want to show you it, where we both practiced without each other in each other's way.
Yeah.
Several times.
So many
Several.
times.
Do another warm up. I would if I wasn't going to show you this video, if you were not involved in this, we would have done it half an hour earlier. We did
I never thought I'd say this, Jason, but you are such a good influence on Chris. He's hydrating with
Okay,
you.
bye.
Wait, what?
He's drinking water?
Yeah, I got it for him. Yeah.
He did.
Who is this person?
Athletes.
This guy's in recovery.
Hydrated athletes.
You two push each other in the best way, but also don't want each other to die. I love this. This is
We're good.
Don't die.
This is like my favorite friendship because I feel like you both want to. It's like fine if you get hurt, but we don't want each other to get hurt.
No,
you know
that's it.
Yeah,
it's like raising a boy. It's the same thing. Like the boy,
we're raising each other.
Falls and you're like, man. But
I also think you're setting such a good example for all the skaters listening that even the gnarliest, like when you're at the top of your game, you're gonna rehearse it a couple. It's not cool to not take care of yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like,
yeah,
it's short term. That's for sure.
Yeah, there was a lot of communication, like way more than usual, where I was like, do it again, and then let me do that grind a couple more times, and then I was like, you know what, do it and pretend you're filming it before I'm in there, like all these little things that usually I'd be like, are you good? Okay, go.
Yeah.
But this time it was like a lot. We did it. It was like I said, safe. There was no sketchiness. It was actually a little too easy.
We actually did it 3 times because I messed up the back 3, which is like not like
I made my
not
trick.
Like I'm so cocky, whatever, but like it's not normal for me to mess up a back 3 of that size, and I messed up.
And I made my grind every single time because to me, if I bailed that grind, that's jeopardizing his skull again. Yeah. And to me, I was like, this is life or death the way I make this grind. I did it flawlessly every time.
So how was the sex after?
That's inappropriate. That's not. We're very straight, as you mentioned on your podcast. I'm very straight, like super straight.
She did.
But no offense, if you're gay, that's cool, but that's just not what I am at all. Thank you, Whitney Cummings.
This is like, this makes me so happy.
Yes, me too.
Like this is, and I'm not gonna bring our horse into this, but like
our horse.
There's a
you hear that?
Our horse.
This means a lot.
There's like a level, Jason, there's just like a different energy in you that's actually more alpha.
It's making me verklempt.
Because alphas protect. Alphas have nothing to prove. Alphas protect. It's like in alphas, you know.
Yeah. No, I earlier in the show, before we talked to you, I was talking about how important you've been in my life and how the relationship that I have with you and with our horse, which is really cool. But I am a different person to everybody now because I communicate with humans like I'm a horse. You don't need to talk. I know your energy. I'm an energy hunter.
Yeah.
Just like my good friend.
Words are just to manipulate and confuse people. Words are like, we talk for a living, but like words are not how you communicate. They're actually how you stop intimacy and communication. What, babe?
Well, I've heard that communication is the problem and the answer.
Okay.
You're gay. You're gayer than me, dude, for sure.
The problem and the solution?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be question and the answer?
You should have hung up.
Well, the problem and the solution, because the problem is communication, but then communication is the solution to that problem.
Sometimes the solution is not saying a thing.
Wow, that was really well edited. We could use that. Okay, Whitney. So there you go. Your boyfriend is alive and healthy, and we've laughed and laughed, and we are successful and good at our jobs. We're very happy.
We did it.
And then next time you do it, just make sure he falls in a way that reverses his vasectomy.
Really? I mean, you can just do that anyway. You know that, right?
Oh, God.
I feel like if a guy got a vasectomy, he meant it.
I was going to... Wait, do you have one?
Yeah.
So do I. I was thinking about reversing it. Do you want to do it together?
No.
Okay.
Wait, yes. The vasectomy reverse 360?
Yeah. Ooh.
Together?
Yeah, like we'll hold hands.
You take my vasectomy, I'll take yours.
You guys just do everything together now. It's so funny.
Yeah. It might be.
We hold hands.
Yeah, I would do that.
I bet you could get a Groupon.
Ooh, a discount on a double reverse. Dude, a double reverse vasectomy is what we should call the trick that we just did.
Double reverse.
It's the double reverse vasectomy. That's what we just did
It
today.
would have, you know what? It would have been that if we would have also both got doubles on that handrail.
I can do that.
It's around the corner.
I can do that.
It's like, boom, vasectomy, gone.
Right, the one you fell off on right after?
No, the one that goes down the stairs.
That's not a good idea for me.
Well,
But hey,
it would reverse the vasectomy.
hey,
This guy.
I will do it.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah?
The response to you guys doing this together has been like wild and cool. Like people are like, imagine rolling up to a skate park and seeing Chris Cole, like, and Jason out. Like, is this what's that?
It's an odd couple.
Is that what it is? Is it like,
You know that, I don't know if Chris remembers, but that happened. When he was sitting on the bench with an ice pack bleeding into my t-shirt, a guy came over and was like, holy shit, Chris Cole and Jason Ellis. What are you guys doing here?
That wasn't on my bingo card.
Yeah.
Wasn't on my bingo card 2025 matchup. Like, is this kind of like, whatever, like Bob Dylan singing with like I'm bad at these.
It's more like Glenn Danzig and Alicia Keys.
That's so funny. Like, remember when Lady Gaga was like, did a show with Tony Bennett? And it was like I love
totally.
this.
Yeah, that's actually better, probably. I'm Tony Bennett for sure.
I'm Tony Bennett.
Hey.
This is like such a, like, even I know this is like cool, and I don't really know.
I feel like you do at this point. You talk a lot. You talk a lot of stuff. You know about, like, you've said some ledge names and stuff where I'm like, who the hell are you? You know the hubber and shit like that. Where I'm like, wait, what? You said
skating?
Yeah. You've said some stuff.
She learns fast.
Yeah, right.
She learns fast.
Yeah,
Unless she dated a skater before me. I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
I hope not.
No. I just like the movie Hitch. It was that movie with Will Smith before he was like hitting people at award shows. It was like he would like be in a dork's ear. Like, I just have Kevin Christie in my ear when I'm on a date with you, and I'm just like, so when Toy Machine merged with
Stussy and Toy Machine.
No,
didn't expect it.
No,
but I could definitely be that in your.
Yeah, you need it.
All right, I love you guys.
I love you so much.
See ya.
I'll be home soon.
Thank you.
Love you. Bye.
So successful. Such a successful redemption show.
Yeah, if I listened to reggae, Redemption song would be playing on my way home.
Reggae and Bob Marley are different.
I know.
You can listen to Bob Marley, and I go, yeah, hell yeah. If you are a reggae, I'm sorry, everybody, but if you're a reggae guy, you suck.
I was just gonna go with it's not for me.
That's a way nicer way.
I definitely reserve the right to change my mind at any time on music because people that are smarter than me love jazz. I hate jazz.
I love jazz.
I hate jazz.
Yeah,
but I'm aware that I'm the problem.
Yeah, you are.
I just haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah.
And at some point I probably will.
You haven't listened to the right jazz. That's what that is.
Yeah.
Smooth jazz like Anita Baker, got that.
Well, then you like jazz.
Yeah, but that's not jazz. You know what I mean?
That's like not pop jazz, yeah.
Okay. It's like she's a jazz artist.
What about live
but that
jazz?
one song that she does is
What
like
about live
is
jazz?
like I Was Made for Loving You by Kiss. Like Kiss did a disco song, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's
Which
like,
was actually pretty cool.
It was a sick disco song.
See, I feel like reggae's like right on the fence because like jazz, like classical music, I can't really get into it, but like I know classical music is good and there's people with a brain who like it. And then there's like, I don't know, whatever Vanderlei Silva listens to in his car, which like I know that sucks. I just know that sucks and I'm not missing anything.
Yeah. I feel like Vanderlei Silva listens to people dying in pain in his car.
I think it's just like, it sounds like a light show.
Oh, no. He does. That's right. He had a techno song when he came out.
I can't do it.
Wow. Now you're doing a Whitney Cummings where you got a deep cut on MMA where I'm super
Well, he was
impressed.
doing Sandstorm by Darude.
Yeah, but
All right,
dude,
take your shit and get out of
Vandelay.
here.
What?
All right, take your shit and get out of here.
Wait, you listen to that stuff?
No, just Sandstorm's like the most famous of all the techno songs.
That's the song he came out to, right?
I don't know.
He came out to a techno song
Did he?
for a decade.
And he
Because
did a hand thing.
Yeah, he
Well,
did.
There's
Always does
there's
that.
like two. There's that. There's Sandstorm, and then there's Zombie Nation, which is do 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 do.
We're not allowed to play it, right, Jakey? But can you do?
which is more of a sports.
Yeah, I don't think we should.
It's more of
Yeah,
a
it's kind
jock
of Gary
jam.
Glittery, right?
Well, yeah, without the pedophilia.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vandelay's song was very techno,
But I feel like reggae is right on the fence of where, like I said, I know classical is good. I know Vandelay music sucks.
Right.
I think reggae might just kind of suck.
It's not my thing.
95% of it, but there's just enough people I do respect who are into it that it's like maybe it's just not my thing. Maybe
That's it.
and like jazz and soul, like Al Jarreau kind of stuff. It didn't make sense to me until I moved to LA, and now being here, it makes sense to me. The music didn't change, and I don't even think I changed. I just got a fresh context
Did
for it.
somebody? I think also you grew into a brain that could accept it at the moment.
wow.
Well,
Yeah.
I've come to understand that pop music is for puppy love. It's for kid love emotions, and like soul R&B is for love songs for people with stretch marks.
I love that.
Wow.
I love that. I asked this one guy one time because he was like down for country, and I was like, all right, I'm a white guy, I'm 40s, you know, like when do I start liking country?
Dude, I know
it's gonna happen. I know it's gonna happen. It just happens,
It
right?
happened to me.
And what he said, he was the first person that ever answered it. He said, they speak about problems I can relate to. I can't relate to teenage angst. I have different problems.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, that's pretty profound. But like, I found myself liking some country, but it's usually a derivative of outlaw country. It's never in-law country. It's never bro country. It's always outlaw-esque.
Yeah, it's got to be old school. Because
Yeah.
I noticed I got in horses got me into country because I'm a cowboy, and I started listening to for some Smokey and the Bandit's theme song, and then the album of Smokey and the Bandit has a bunch of Jerry Reed, the guy that is.
Yeah, I think that is the name. Yeah,
he's a guy that's in Smokey the Bandit. He's the truck driver, but he's an actual real country star.
Nice.
So I don't know this,
Love
and I've watched that a million times when I was a kid, and I love that guy. And now I'm like, wait, that guy, he wrote the theme track. He like the song about the bandit. He wrote it. It's westbound and down, and then it's eastbound and down because he changed the lyrics for the fucking movie.
That's cool.
He has two versions of it.
You know what I've been trying to get into now is I've been listening to a lot of Billy Strings because I don't listen to bluegrass.
I don't know what that
Billy
is.
Strings.
So Billy Strings is a dude,
Okay.
and he's like awesome, and you can tell like the dude rips.
Yeah.
That's Billy Strings. He's one of us, but he plays bluegrass, and dude fucking shreds on an acoustic guitar. But like you can tell, like this dude would have killed it in the hair metal days. Like he shreds, like shreds.
Wait, I might have seen him. Was
Like,
he on,
he's
like
got-
Bert Kreischer's podcast or something, maybe?
Oh, maybe.
I think he might have played a song for Bert.
He's got the goods.
Yeah.
Right. And so when you listen to him, he's got this one song, 7 Weeks in County, and it sounds it's really similar to Ghost Riders in the Sky.
Oh,
like it's got like a good like sort of like tumbleweed sort of feel. Yeah. It's good.
Yeah, dude, my what is it? The Spotify like just starts like I'm listening to that album and it goes, well, then maybe you would like all these. And oftentimes I'm like, wow, I really do. And it's funny that you said the lyrics, like I start to relate to it. But there's one song that I really like, and I'm listening to the lyrics, and it's starting to get racist.
Shit.
And I'm like, wait, am I racist? Because like I like this guy, I like what he's singing about, but I'm like, I listen to the song over and over again, and I'm like, wait a minute, short rope, long, tall tree, that was weird.
Yeah.
And then it's like, if somebody comes
Get
to
out
my
of there.
house, I got a gun for you, and I'm like,
Oh man.
well, yeah, I want to protect the people in my house, but I'm like, you're saying it in a weird way where I feel like you're pointing at a certain community for it.
Yeah.
And I'm not like, if you're a robber, I don't care what color you are, you know. This guy's got this hint, and I don't know, I forgot his name, but he's like a famous country guy, and the song is also, it says something about the Bible in it, and I'm like, ugh, I don't know about the Bible. Like,
You're gonna get a lot of Bible, but you're probably not gonna get a lot of like racist.
He seemed
in most of the songs.
I could be wrong,
so you could just get out of there.
But I'm also
Is it David Allan Coe?
I don't know who that is.
He's just a country artist that has had, you know, yeah, he's
questionable.
Yeah, he's had some. He's said some shit.
Right.
But what's up with that that photo of him with the Regal hat?
Oh, I think it's him.
Yeah, I mean, it's
this one.
Oh, wait, he got reggae?
I don't know, dude. But that's
wait, is that really him?
That's buck wild. Just fits the theme.
I also like
the rebel flag.
I like Tyler Childers now.
Tyler Childers.
Do you know who that is?
I've known the name. Yeah,
I like him.
Yeah, he's a guy currently.
That's weird that I like that guy.
That's a guy currently.
But I like.
Yeah,
it's like soft.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it.
Lovey country.
Yeah,
and I like it.
You know what,
Jake? Did you just make a sound like you're making fun of me for being
love?
I didn't make a sound at all.
It might have been.
You sure? Did you hear it?
I went.
Oh, it was you.
That was me.
So you're questioning my?
I've only heard
soft
one song from him.
country?
I don't question anybody's passion for soft anything. The song that I heard from him to me was like too close to just like pop country, like, you know.
Yeah,
I got my hat and I got my truck and
my thing with music specifically, especially music, is that it takes so much work to write songs, to record songs, to put this out, and it's so personal that if I don't like it or think it sucks, it's like, it's not, I don't want to say that out loud. Like, I don't want to say negative things about somebody's music because it's just not fair. It's just not for me. Even if it's awful to me, it's not for me. And to put that out in the world of just me like shitting on somebody's art, I don't like to do. So I like how you did that. You were just like, it's not for me.
Well,
you know?
And I'm not saying this about Tyler Childers, but I generally agree with what you're saying, and I've got more open-minded as time goes on. But when I suspect that something was made cynically, then I'll shit all over it.
Oh, intention matters.
If you made this with the thought of those dummies will lap this shit up,
right?
Well, then I'll call bullshit on your piece of shit song.
I love that. You know what? I like that. Also, speaking of reggae, one song that is hard as nails. Bad Boys, the Cops theme song.
Wait, that's a reggae song?
Yeah, that's by Inner Circle.
Bad Boys. Think about
like
it.
That song.
Yeah.
Sick.
When they come for you.
Who does that?
Sick. Inner Circle. It's. I mean, that song goes. Especially like before we hated cops or whatever. It was like,
I like Cops.
Me too.
No, the TV show Cops.
But yeah, like you would watch Cops and you'd be like, whoa, they're gonna get the bad guys. And it was such a cool show. You know?
I liked it's reggae rap, but Don't Sniff Coke by Pato Banton, which is it's a anti-coke, pro-weed song.
Okay.
Back when you never thought weed would be legalized in your lifetime, so him literally saying don't sniff coke, smoke weed.
Yeah.
Like literally anti and pro drug at the same time.
That's kind of cool.
It's terrific.
I like that. I like that. And you know what? I feel for it. Although I don't smoke weed.
Same. No, I just like the idea of it.
Me neither.
Yeah. So, but I would much rather, if I had, close friends, I would much rather they smoke weed.
If my kid's going to get behind the wheel.
Right.
Well, if he's just on coke.
Oh,
wow.
If he's on coke and he's been drinking, that's a problem.
Interesting angle.
A bump or a joint.
Well, dudes are dying.
What about the fentanyl thing?
The fentanyl things.
No, I'm just saying, like, what do I want? If my kid is, I want my kid to always take an Uber if they've had a sip or a snort or a whatever of anything.
Right.
But I was about to say.
You're talking about the other person.
If they're going, no. I'm saying, but if they are to drive under the influence of something, alcohol, absolutely not.
Absolutely
Weed,
not. It slows your reaction.
It could be, but it could be worse. A bump, kind of fun.
Driving?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Key bump and driving, you're better than you were.
I don't know anything.
Dude, you're just a spy hunter.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Spy hunter.
Not a
nice
long
reference.
drive.
No.
Okay.
No, just like an action-packed
Yeah.
trip.
It's action-packed.
To the liquor store
Oh,
to
yeah.
get the booze that once you get home, you're in for the night.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Oh, that's great advice.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Wow.
Drug addicts.
Before we wrap up, because I did put a lot of time into my brain test. Can I?
I'm super excited about this.
Can I just I just want to see because
So far, flying
This
colors.
is high level stuff. If I give you 5 words, can you repeat them to me backwards?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
I can't wait to hear what they are.
Pack, wash, to those eyes.
Eyes, those, to wash those.
Close enough.
There was a pack one there.
That's right. That's the last one. Cool. It's dogs blow eye.
No. I heard blow and I'm like, I get it. Dogs. Nah.
Wait, you
Alright.
blow dogs. Is that what's
Yeah.
going
Yeah. It was gonna be me blowing dogs.
But you caught that.
And yeah.
There you
So your
go.
brain is-
He's just
Brain's
fine.
firing. But
Yeah.
you did do a lot of work in here.
Yeah.
Are there any more?
Sure. What
Not that I'm
is-
thinking there
I
should
love
be.
how he goes, no.
He's just
What
thinking.
is Michael J. Fox's middle initial?
Wait. That's ridiculous.
Jay.
Yeah.
It's A. His middle name is actually Andrew.
You're an
Really?
asshole.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wait, his name's Andrew J. Fox?
Michael Andrew Fox.
So why
is it Jay?
What's the J?
He's one of those guys where you can't be in the Screen Actors Guild and have a name that anybody has ever had before in a movie. So
That
if
makes sense.
if there was a Michael Fox, you can't be. That's why there's so like Michael B. Jordan. There was
right.
Wow.
Because
That was the
literally
example I was
Space
gonna
Jam.
use.
Exactly. But if there's already been a Michael J. Fox, it doesn't matter that that's your actual name. That's not the point. Could have
Right.
been some guy from the 30s, so he's Michael A. But he became.
Dude, the J makes that name so much smoother.
I know.
It's great.
Really good call.
I also like that he just did that. You know, like there's a tasteful twist
Yeah.
that like
Yeah.
you don't need to be Vin Diesel,
Yes.
right? You don't need to go that hard. Neil Diamond.
I disagree.
Sick name.
Vin Diesel is sick.
I mean, I'm nothing against.
I mean, you
Vin
got to
Diesel.
look like him, though.
That's true. He really
Like, there's
really
a certain person that
he
Oh,
added
dude.
value.
If
He
the
added
Napoleon
value.
Dynamite guy had been Vin Diesel,
that'd be weird, but also kind of cool. That's like
so cool.
you go so far that it becomes cool again.
Vin
Right,
Diesel is
right.
Napoleon Dynamite.
That's such a stretch that it's. Wait a minute, is this guy the coolest dude in the world?
Exactly.
Because that's not a Vin Diesel.
Do you remember Vin Diesel in the Street Sharks commercial?
What?
Street Sharks were a toy line in the 80s,
I do.
like 89, maybe 90. And Vin Diesel's wearing a vest with no shirt underneath as a teenager, and he's in the Street Sharks commercial.
No
Yeah.
way.
Check him out. Sprightly.
Dude, is he gay?
Duh.
I mean, arg.
It's like the first Tupac video where remember when like all the Republicans post it and go, "Look, see, Tupac was gay," because he does the interview, or he's
Oh,
like,
really?
you know, like my mother or something like, and he talks like,
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
correct
Yeah.
or whatever appropriate fucking.
Also,
voice.
like, does that help their voting? Does that help your vote? Like,
I don't know. It's just this thing.
So
People-
weird.
People like to bash. people.
Yeah, there he is. Look at him.
He looks better, like fat and chewed up.
I mean, well, men.
like that kinda-
men-
I can relate to
men
that.
age into the face they were meant to have.
Yeah, I feel like I look better, old and like a bit
Yeah, you grow into
haggard
the
than
face
I
you're
did when I
supposed
was
to
like had hair, and I thought I was like handsome.
Have you seen the still images of The Rock's new movie? He's
Yeah.
playing a fighter and he has hair and he just looks all wrong.
I
What?
saw because he's like he's like it's based off a true story of an actual fighter.
Yes.
have. Really?
Yeah, he
Ben-
looks like a
Benny-
different person.
Benny's.
Mark something, isn't it?
You're absolutely right. Yep.
Yeah.
Starts with an S.
Yeah, it was just crazy because like I remember watching that guy fight. He wasn't
Yeah.
the best guy, but he was like one of the first like specimens.
Oh,
Where
really?
it was just like, dude, if this dude knows MMA, his body type is gonna be pretty hard to beat this guy.
What was his last name?
Hold on, I'll find
England?
it for you.
I forgot, but it's sad. like the painkillers, the injuries, like it's a thing where it's like people play this thing where it's like, you know, like wrestlers are how hard their lives are. And I'm like, I get it, dude. Same with skateboarders when they retire, they're like kind of haggard and beat up. And it's like, yeah, man, there is a lot of injuries, but there are.
Mark Kerr.
Yeah.
There you go.
There's abuse involved, you know, like there is this thing where it's like, yes, he's injured and he took painkillers, but then he drank and did drugs and that, like, if people just put like, it's MMA that hurt him. And it's like, yeah, but it's also,
Yeah.
you know, if he had have been, you know, a plant-based yoga, you know, like after a fight where he lost, he didn't do. And I haven't seen the movie. It's coming across as a guy that got injured and then got addicted to painkillers. And I'm like, yeah, look, I've had injuries. I'm not saying I'm as tough as this guy. I'm just saying I've had injuries where they gave me painkillers and then I hurt myself and they gave me more painkillers. And then I had a run where I wasn't injured and I stopped doing the painkillers.
Yeah.
You know, but look, did I do coke? Did I get addicted to a bunch of stuff from pain? Maybe. You know,
Yes,
I feel like
I did.
I feel like the mental thing, childhood was more of a reason to do drugs than the injuries. And I had, like, how many injuries has this guy had? I'm not saying I'm the most injured guy on the planet, but you know, but I broke like 50 bones, dude.
Yeah,
you know, like I've had like ligaments and tendons and dislocations and separations. Like, how many did this guy have? You know, is it
a lot? I'm sure.
But he was a specimen, dude. Like,
for sure.
He was one of those people where
we're going to have to watch the movie to find out.
Muscles upon muscles.
Trailer out today.
I mean, also, like,
I saw the trailer today.
Yeah, there you go.
Like, what is his name?
Give us a hint. Come back to us, Cobra Cole.
Brain damage.
No way. Trains with Jocko. Trains with Jocko has a giant Dean Lister. So Dean Lister like was made
jiu-jitsu guy,
was made to not be choked out, right? Yeah. Like his neck is this big.
He can't punch.
But also, like, what are you gonna? He's shaped like a thumb. Like, what do you do with that?
Yeah.
Like, he found the job that makes sense. Like, I'm gonna teach you jujitsu.
I mean, his neck was like that from training, though. You know.
Yeah, but I think that he was.
If you look at his early years, he was slightly normal looking.
He was predisposed to having.
He had a big head.
Look at that neck, dude.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Well, look at that head. You gotta to hold that head. You need a big neck.
Yeah, that's true.
A big-headed man is definitely an attribute for mixed martial arts.
Like, that dude looks strong. Like,
but dude, when he was in the UFC, he was terrible. Like, he got cut for, like, he wouldn't stand up and he would like scoot on his butt towards you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like the game, dude. Like,
man,
people had less appreciation for that kind of ability.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're really good at jiu-jitsu and someone can defend it somewhat, then you pull the guy on the ground and you hold him and you don't get a submission.
We go nowhere.
We don't care. And then the guy gets up and kicks your leg and you don't get back up, like, you're booed. And I think it was 2 fights in a row because I was watching them live where I was like, this guy, and I knew him. I knew him, his friends that knew him. I was aware that this guy was like, you're on the ground with this guy, he will snap you in half. Like, he is a venomous jiu-jitsu guy. But in UFC, in MMA, where you're standing up a lot, I could not stand him because he would not stand up.
Sure.
So,
yeah,
that was like a real bummer, faux pas, where it was like you scoot on your butt towards somebody.
Well, you know,
like, dude, stand up. At least stand up.
Yeah, I don't fault him for going into the UFC, but it is funny. It's like the right tool for the right job. You know,
it's like the last Gracie guy, where they gave him a bunch of fights, and it was like, he's like, I've been working on my stand-up, and I'm like, there's a level now where, I mean, if you're like the greatest jiu-jitsu guy in the world or the greatest wrestler in the world, there was a time there where you could be the champion of the world with that.
Mm-hmm.
But now, there's people that, you know, like the Style Bender, where, dude, he can defend your takedown. And he is a sniper standing up.
Right.
Like, he's going to get your brain before you get his ankle. He's going to get it.
So gnar.
It is really amazing. Like, I know the stylebender like lost his belt, blah blah blah, but like a guy that's been a kickboxer his whole life and can be like double legged and single legged by people that are the gnarliest wrestlers in the world, and he defends it and bounces off the cage and then starts patching you up again. That's amazing to me.
It's so amazing.
And it's kind of like if there's a guy that's like an Olympic wrestler, like, you know, Daniel Cormier, who was in the Olympics for wrestling, and then he'll stand with a kickboxer and punch their brains out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, that's amazing.
Yeah.
But now the new breed, these guys are like amazing jiu-jitsu, amazing kickboxing, amazing boxing, amazing wrestling, and they're 16. And I'm like, you know what he's going to be when he's 25? He's going to be a murderer.
Yeah,
that's the new breed where I'm seeing these new names of guys where they don't train at wrestling gyms. They train at MMA gyms.
That's right.
Since they were children.
Right. So they don't have to scoot across town to get all.
Dude, there was this crazy thing where it was like, if you get caught by a guy that's good at that thing in a certain position, it's a wrap. Like if you get on your back and the guy's on top of you, you're out. Now there's dudes that are like known for being, I mean, what's his name? The light heavyweight, the guy that beat Anderson,
Chris Weidman.
No, the Brazilian guy that's like, he's just a kickboxer. He beat Stylebender. Man, why am I blanking out on his name? He's the coolest fighter in the UFC.
Oh, Poatan.
Yeah.
Alex Pereira.
He defends takedowns from really good grappling guys. And I'm like, dude, you were 15 years of kickboxing, no grappling. And people can't get you down. Or if somebody's been on him and he's got up.
And he's an exceptional human being in all other ways, like the archery and stuff, where you're just like, oh, you were just meant to be more.
He's a Lord of War.
Yeah, just
what that is.
Yeah, you were just born better.
Yeah,
I see it.
Also, giant head.
Oh, really?
Real big.
Huh.
Which is also crazy when Stylebender knocked him out. Like, you knocked that guy out. But that was all. I want to say that he did it on purpose, but I don't think he did, because I've heard Joe Rogan say that he said that in the second fight that he already kicked his leg out because he has that sneaky first leg kick where he kicks your calf, and before you know it, your leg doesn't work.
Yep.
And I do remember him backing up against the cage because he ruined that front leg, and he was going for the kill. And when he was going for the kill, he left himself open for that shot. But it was like, you put him to sleep.
Well, that's what Izzy told the ref, like, don't call this early.
Right.
And then he acted like he was more hurt when he went back toward the fence. So it looked like he was about to just get KO'd, which is what Alex came in to do. Right. And that's when he sniped him.
Which I do believe, when these dudes are at that level and you're that good of a striker, that you play in the little, like, you're hurt thing and now's your chance, so that he opens up for you to land your shot.
So crazy.
I believe that that's a thing. Because I've actually, like, I'm not high level, but I have been stunned before where I'm completely still there. Like, I've been tagged before where my front leg buckled and the fighter saw it and came after me. And I was completely aware. Like, I smiled at him. And then I backed up against the cage because I was like, wake up, leg. And then he came at me. And I remember, like, whoop, whoop, whoop. Like, obviously not Stylebender style, but I was still moving and bobbing around. And I was like, I know where I am. And there's still power. I can still sit down on my back leg and throw a punch. It's just like he hit one part that made my left ankle not attached to my brain anymore.
That's so.
But the rest of my body was like, I see you.
That's so weird.
And those dudes, like I'm a child of MMA. Like, Stylebender is like you know how many times he's been tagged and he still sees where you are. That's his whole life. Yeah. Like, since he was a kid.
You know what it is too? It's like when everybody's a casual. Like, you get called a casual on, like, if you say anything on the, the posts about UFC and stuff like that, right? I just see people call each other casuals all day, and everybody's a casual unless you're training, right? Like totally makes sense. You're just a spectator of sport. But there's no 13th lane, right? So you don't know, like, these are the toughest people that you would ever see ever. Like if they came to, like, if you were in a gym, like a boxing gym, and any of those dudes came in, they'd be the toughest person you've ever seen in your life. And so when they're fighting each other, it's unfathomable the skill level that these two have. That, like, when you see people kind of like not doing much and kind of dancing, it's because they're both so high level that they can't. The other person's going to capitalize on every single thing that they do.
Right. And they're aware of it.
Yeah, like if you put in any other human being,
it's over in a second.
It's over in a second.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever show is going on at your local amphitheater next month, the worst guy who embarrassed himself the worst in the UFC would just go in there, and you would be like, when is that guy? I feel like I'm looking at a future superstar of the UFC.
Yeah, I used to go to this gym and do do training, like personal training, just like workout or whatever. And a UFC dude was there. I'm not going to say his name, but a UFC dude was training at that gym, and he was one of the only times I've been like intimidated by a human being, where I'm like, oh, that dude's like bigger than me, stronger than me, faster than me. Like, so like if he just decided like that he didn't like my face and wanted to beat my ass, there's nothing I can do, right? He's just so scary. I saw him there a couple times, and then I saw him fight, and he got ragdolled so bad by a dude that looked like he wasn't a fighter at all. And it was ridiculous looking. And that was the scariest person I had ever seen.
Right.
So.
Yeah, there's levels.
Yeah.
We got to wrap this up.
Yep.
Yeah, fair.
We are over time. You're welcome to stick around for Patreon if you want, I gather.
I have another podcast to go to.
Nice. All right, celebrity boy, go out there and do it. Thanks for doing the show, dude. Nice,
dude.
work.
I'm
feel
excited.
good about it. Yeah.
I
feel like you
here.
could. I feel like I'll do a hand round now. I'm like, let's go.
Really?
Yeah.
I tried to do hand plants for 2 months, and I couldn't do it at all.
All right, well then I won't do a hand round. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, everybody.
Don't die.
More shows. There you go. Don't die.